Varsity students, and welcome back to another week of our online sessions. We're going to begin with this week's life skill for our warm-up, and we're going to start with turning to page 36 in our core lesson number 9, Living with Integrity. It says, integrity is knowing the difference between right and wrong and doing the right thing even when no one is looking. And for the game of golf, this is one of the most important things. When you're out there are most likely no rules officials when you start playing in tournaments, when you guys get older and stuff like that. And it is on your best interest and your judgment and your people you are playing with to use your integrity to the best of your knowledge. And with the game of golf, integrity comes into play a lot. It also says that golf is a game of etiquette and composure, and players are responsible for their actions on the golf course even at times when others may not be looking. Now, at the bottom of page 36, it says, what does integrity mean to me? I want you guys to pause this video in a few seconds and take the time, a couple minutes, to write down or draw in the space below provided and describe what integrity means to you. Before we do our quick warm-up for this week's lesson plan, and before we get into the golf activity for this week, we have a couple at-home activities for you guys to do on pages 42 and 43 that correspond with the integrity. It looks like a crossword puzzle and a couple questions to answer on page 43. Now, let's get up, get ready, get warmed up. I want you guys, if you're inside your household, to find a space in your living room or down a hallway and do 10 quick back and forth jogs from one side of the house to the next. Go ahead and do that. And then the second exercise, I want you guys to get up, get the blood pumping, and do 15 jumping jacks. Hello First Tee golfers, and welcome to the non-golf related activity for this week's target awareness. For this activity, you will need 3 golf balls and 3 different cups set out about 10 feet in front of you. And for this activity, you just take turns rolling the ball on the floor and trying to make it into each of the cups. It will help you with your hand-eye coordination and just trying to get the ball to roll right into the cup. Now go ahead and give it a try, guys.
Hey guys, Coach Eric here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about target awareness, and specifically when we think about target awareness for me is realizing where something is. Okay, so on a golf course, we're going to think about areas on a golf course like flags, maybe a tree, maybe a sand trap, and we're going to aim at those. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys specifically about when I was a junior golfer and some of the things that were helpful for me when we started talking about target awareness. So I can remember when I was younger, when I was probably about 8 or 10 years old, I used to love to practice, and practicing for me was just hitting golf balls. And so a lot of times I would go out and I'd have, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 golf balls in front of me, and my teacher, my coach, would have me hit golf balls. And for a lot of times I would just hit golf balls to hit golf balls. And one of the things with that is I was training my swing, but I wasn't necessarily training myself on where to hit the golf ball. And so one of the things that we started to really focus on was one of 2 things, is making sure that we practice with purpose, okay? And that every time that we hit the golf ball, we were actually aiming at something, okay? So one of the things that he used to have me do is this. And a lot of times what I would do is, if I had a target that was out, for example, I had a flag out in the middle of the fairway, I would walk into my shot. So for example, if we had our golf balls right here, I would walk into my shot looking at that target the entire time. Okay? And so I always felt that just hitting a golf ball in itself was good enough to retrain your thing, but you have to start thinking about that mental image. So if you get behind your ball as part of your routine and you walk into the ball looking at that flag stick or looking at that tree or looking at that bunker that you're trying to aim at, you'll be a lot better off. Now, secondly, one of the things that he used to work at was I would walk into that shot and then I would get up over the golf ball and he would have me actually close my eyes. So I'd close my eyes and then he would have me with my left arm, he'd have me point towards the target. And when I was younger, I really struggled at that drill because I didn't have a good mental imagery of where that target was at. So this is what I'd like for you guys to do. Maybe if you did this maybe 5 or 10 times, walk into the golf ball looking at your target in this manner, okay? And then getting up over the golf ball, closing your eyes, taking your left arm and pointing it directly where you think the target is. Now, if you're struggling at finding that target with your left arm, then we need to practice that. We need to practice that. We need to make that repetitive where we have a better understanding of where our target is. So I know it sounds like a really simple drill, walking into the golf ball, looking at your target, closing your eyes while you're over the golf ball and taking that mental imagery. But I think it'll really improve your golf game and your target awareness. I hope that really helps, guys. Have a great weekend and take care.
Welcome back, First Tee students. Coach Katie here with the wrap up for this week's online lessons. I just want to relate back some of our integrity that we talked about with relating it to golf. A lot of our core lessons can also be related back to everyday life. So I want you guys to write down 3 different ways that you can show integrity at home or at school or with your friends. Anything outside of golf. Go ahead and do that. And one of the biggest rules and ways to go by with integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking. So that could be at your house if your parents aren't around, or if you're by yourself for an afternoon. It is doing the right thing even when no one is around. Thanks for tuning in to this week's golf lesson, and we hope to see you back again next week.